Hello, hello. Welcome to Mrs. Best Reviews. I seem to be having internet issues, so I hope that everyone can hear me clearly. I will ask if James, who is our guest co host once again from Watch Your Mouth Reviews, we thank you for being here. I assume you can hear me because you got happy and you responded.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
You're good.
My computer froze during the little countdown. So I was like,
Oh,
is it gonna, am I live? Am I really here? Am I not here? But we are here to discuss the Summer House Martha's Vineyard, season 1, episode 6. So we are almost done because I believe there are only 8 episodes.
yep.
So we
Only
have
eight
two.
episodes, two left.
We have 2 episodes left. So for this episode, because a lot happened, I'm just gonna go down the line in order of what happened because I didn't know where to start, where to begin, where to go. And then we're also going to discuss some things that happen off camera from cast members calling YouTubers to basically defend themselves to apparently cast members saying that they are reading each other online. There's just been a lot going on with this cast lately. So before
Okay.
we get to that, we'll just go over the episode. And it started basically where it left off when they were in the restaurant with the group. And Silas brings up that, being a union and a group is different. But long story short, he enjoys it. Jasmine is saying it's not the same experience for her, and she starts crying as if someone has stolen her dog. And then she proceeds to explain that being in a relationship is isolating for her. Um,
Mm, mm.
we'll get your opinion first. What are your thoughts?
She was full of shit. Full of shit. And when I say, and this is what I'm talking about with Jasmine. Jasmine has a way of like deflecting a lot. And I saw it, on episode 1, and I ignored it. And when I saw it in episode 3 and 4, I was like, okay, no, she really deflects. And then in the moment of her deflecting, she then projects her insecurities onto the other women. You saw her do it last episode with Jordan. So I really feel like that wasn't the issue at all. I feel like she just said something to really protect the real reason why she was upset.
Yeah. Yeah, I can pretty much agree. I don't think she likes to show like her and her husband. Maybe that's why they get along. They don't seem to like the show was really real. So I definitely agree. I was kind of annoyed with the whole thing because here's the thing. I only you can isolate yourself.
Right. And that's what, yes.
So
Yes.
that's number one. If you feel isolated, then come outside, speak, call somebody. When I feel like I've been isolated, I'll text people, what you doing? Where you at? Just random stuff. How are you today? You know, do something, make an attempt. That's one. And then two, like I understand that she's gotten stuff from her friends on being in a relationship, but maybe the reason they have so much to say about your relationship is because you're always trying to push them to be in one, now that you're in one, which one of them tried to explain to her in the previous week, Miss Jordan. But that's pretty much all I had to say about that situation. The next thing I guess I'll discuss is Jason. He was he was interesting to me this episode. I had a lot of mixed emotions and feelings on him. He says that he is all about the truth. That's what Jason said. He said that he is all about the truth. But in my opinion, he seems very, very messy and he talks a lot, which the group, I thought that was funny, kind of laughed at him talking for way too long, taking too damn long to make a point. But some of the things that he said kind of led me to believe like maybe this is why you're, single. But then at the same time, his interaction with Silas was his interactions with Silas are interesting. So I guess with Jason in general, I'll get your general opinion on him in the episode and what you thought of the multiple interactions that he had with Silas, because I thought they were all a little odd.
They were odd, but at the same time, what I'm going to say about Jason is that that seemed like a cover up of something.
Mhm.
And I cannot put my finger on it because there was someone that said allegedly that maybe he had slept with Jasmine once. Allegedly. I read a comment about that. And when I read that comment, I said, I don't think it's that. I feel like Jason has like some sort of like a lax complex of about himself where he probably doesn't feel as attractive as he looks. So what he does is he tries to push on this masculine energy and it's just coming off wrong.
Mm. I
That's
don't know.
my
He my my husband was like, "Is he gay, Beijing?" I was like, "Oh God." The
see, and that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if it's that because I had said that last video. I think he's, but I think
no.
all of them, with the exception of Silas and I okay, at
It's
first
just like his first things that he said to us when he came into the house, he made sure and said the words, "I'm heterosexual." That's weird.
that is weird.
That's
You come in
weird.
a
If
house
you
where it's all heterosexual allegedly.
yeah, like
And yeah,
if the majority, and that's the thing. LGBT community is still the minority, no matter whatever people's beliefs, feelings, any of that. Like they're still the minority, percentage wise, number wise. So, like as a heterosexual person, I'm not gonna go and be like, yeah, I'm a heterosexual person. I date men. Like, no, that's weird. So
it is
it
weird.
that mixed with him today and how defensive he got discussing like not sleeping around or with too many women, saying that got him in the situation with his daughter. I don't know. There's a lot to Jason that I think that we don't know and that we will find out. But I do think that he's messy. So do you think there's anything else we need to cover on him?
No, that was just it. It was
Yeah.
long-winded and it was annoying.
Yeah. He is though. So Jasmine and not Jasmine, I didn't skip Jasmine and Jordan that they did have a chat after Jason and his whole situation, his little discussions. Jasmine says some BS in that chat. I think most people are starting to kind of like have a sour taste in their mouth if they haven't already
Right?
for Jasmine. People at first were liking her, kind of on her side, but now people are kind of seeing, because I had some people say, "You guys don't like Jasmine on your recast." It's not that we dislike her, it's just she's been on a lot of bullshit and seems to have this little superiority thing, and then turns things around on her
I,
friends. In
I'm
my
not gonna say I'm not gonna say I dislike Jasmine.
opinion.
What I'm going to say is that I feel like Jasmine is fighting with who she wants to be, and it comes across inauthentic on TV.
Probably.
And that's what I have a problem with. I don't have a problem with Jasmine other than that. I feel like Jasmine is lost. And the fact of the matter is that she's lost, but she wants to project on TV that she has it all together.
That's why I say the superiority thing, because it seems like
Hmm.
the issue that keeps coming up specifically for Jasmine is my friends and managing and balancing being married and being a friend, which I've said from the jump. I felt like that was bullshit. It shouldn't be that difficult to do. But I think that a part of that is in Jasmine's mind and in Silas's mind. She's married. She's done what she's supposed to do for her age and all of this. So because they're married, they're the ones that have to host this. They have to be in charge. They have to be treated with more respect or something like that. I feel like she has that little attitude, and it's annoying. But she did say to Jordan when they chatted that she did not feel checked on, which I found to be. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I'm just trying to remember the context of that conversation.
Well, the context of the conversation had to do with the issue that they had the previous week when they were shopping. And Jordan and Jasmine were discussing how Jasmine wants her to be married and she knows what she wants. And Jordan's trying to tell her she's okay with being single. So I guess they went back because Jasmine felt like they needed to talk further because it had been awkward. And when talking further, Jasmine stated that she doesn't want to make her feel judged, but that she doesn't feel checked on, basically, since getting married, which I thought was BS.
It is, and so now that because I'm trying to remember how she said it, I feel like
She quite literally said, "I just wish that you guys would check on me a little bit more. I need to be checked on too." That's what she said.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if we think about previously her telling Jordan, you should, pushing a mirror on Jordan, it was like, so what you're saying is, and let me make sure I'm clear about how I'm gonna say this. What you're saying is that it's okay for you to push old pencil head ass Amir on Jordan, but Jordan is supposed to check on you being the married woman. Meanwhile, you're supposed to push this old misogynistic, male identified logic on her like your aunties and mama probably did on you. But she's supposed to come check on you. Because when you check on her, you're pushing the narrative that she's always single and as if that's a problem. See, I have a problem with, I think that that's why I'm having a hard time accepting her saying that y'all don't check on me. What are we checking on you for? Is the problem.
Hmm.
Because every time you're around us, you're trying to push some dude on some woman.
Hmm.
So what are we checking on you for? Like, I want Jasmine to say, I didn't want to be the only married person here.
But why does that, as a married person, being the only married person somewhere should not matter?
It
It
matters to
shouldn't.
her. It
It
matters
shouldn't.
to her.
And
That's the
the only
thing.
reason it would matter in her situation is if you're insecure in your marriage, there's problems in the foundation, or if you married the wrong person. That's just a personal opinion.
Which I feel like she married the wrong person.
She's too concerned for the opinions of others, and she's too concerned about the perception of her that she's not living in it. And that's it's very annoying, but hey, it is what it is. That's all I'll say on that. So after that bullshit ass conversation between the two of Jasmine and Jordan, we get Shanice. Shanice returns. Your favorite person.
So you just gonna skip over that part where Alex drove Simon home in that Corvette?
Yeah, I didn't feel the need to discuss it. You can. I
No, it's
was like,
okay. This your channel. I can't. I
no,
said,
you can. You're
I
co-host.
said, I said, and
I
then they
did find
also
that odd, though. I
it
did find that odd,
okay.
and I was looking at the TV, and I actually I rewinded it
Yes,
because
because
I
I
was
was
like,
like,
"Wait, did
and then
she
there was
say
another time in
Alex
the
drove
episode
Simon?"
another episode he took Simon somewhere else. I was like,
I'm like, "Do they know each other or
that's what
something?"
I was gonna ask. I'm like, I wonder if they know each other. Like, because I don't know that. That's the thing. Bravo in this call center. Y'all gonna stop with this. We don't know the dynamics of none of these friendships because they all circle around Jasmine. So we don't know who would know each other outside of Shanice, Jordan, Jasmine, and the big head girl, whatever her name is. Um,
Shanice,
Not Shanice. I
Bria.
said Shanice. I said Shanice, Bria, Jordan. Okay, it's Bria. That's what I'm forgetting.
Okay.
Shanice, Bria, Jasmine, and Jordan. Out of the exception of them, we don't know who else would know each other in this circle collectively.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like the men really
Knew each
know
other.
each other that
Yeah.
deep. It does not. But yeah, that scene was weird. I don't know if my dude has been in Germany, and I've been complaining about how I'm not getting my nut off, as we've heard from Bria multiple episodes. Why are you putting your dude in the car with another dude? I'd be in the car topping them off.
I was about to say Bria couldn't drive you home. Bria was that drunk?
Right.
Really?
Like, what?
Okay.
You say you've missed him and all this other stuff. So I thought that was odd. But after we get all of those scenes and things, Shanice does return. At first I was like, I don't know how to feel about a cast member who's gone, but then comes back. But then seeing her come back and how she came back and what she does, which we'll get to, I found that to be funny. She did come back when she first came back into the house. She came back just completely making it clear and helping to make it clear, I do not want to deal with Alex no more. I am not interested in him no more. And she also made it clear that she went and got her had her personal time. She got her some eggplant emoji. So
I wasn't mad at her either.
I wasn't mad at that because
I
the
wasn't
way
mad at her
Alex did her,
either.
I've been seeing.
And like I said, and like I'm telling y'all, Alex pissed me off this episode. I know you're gonna get to it. Alex pissed me off this episode because he the messy queen I know he is. So I'm just gonna say this. I was happy that she said that she was done because I didn't like what Alex did. Like the fact that you Googled this girl, found this information, and didn't even think to get her side of the story. It was
Told
like
everybody else too
and told
before.
everybody else
Yeah.
all this foolishness without even asking her what was real about this situation. That's
Did
what I
you
didn't like.
did you peep though? This is so random. Did you peep though when Shanice came back into the house? She's like, "Whose red card is? Whose red card? Or Bria?" Mind you, those two are supposed to be like that. And Bria makes the joke, "Why you try to figure out whose dick you got to suck to get to the car?" I'm like, "Wait a minute." So
I
that
did notice
confirmed,
that, but then I was like,
it
because
confirms
because
some of what you had said in a prior.
yeah, it does, but at the same time, it's a rental, obviously, because he lives in Germany. It's not like he flew his personal car from Germany to America.
Obviously, yes, yes.
So I think maybe she probably didn't know if someone else joined the house because I don't know. Was Jason in the house at the time that she was?
No, but I'm just saying the joke that was made. I'm
Right.
like,
No.
is this what y'all do? Because you
Yeah,
stated
obviously,
they
obviously it's what they do.
definitely
Yeah,
do
because you
certain
saw this episode
caliber.
what they was doing. Yeah, they obviously
They
do
date a
this.
certain caliber of men.
I
That
said that.
is
I said that from the beginning. I said, well, I know for a fact that Bria and Jordan do.
mm.
Because Jordan even said that this is my kind of present. So when she said that out her mouth this episode, I said, "See, I told you, Amir can't do this. That's why she ain't. That's why she ain't featuring him."
I cannot with you. Other than that, the only interesting thing we find out that Bria and why did I just forget her name and I just said it? Shanice, I guess they did OnlyFans together. So
Not surprised.
yeah, but not, they say not porn. They were very clear. They just did like the lingerie photos. I don't know how OnlyFans works.
I don't either.
So
That's why I'm not even gonna sit
I'm
here. But
like,
some tell me that hell, they was in. They had a man and they was a sandwich. I'm just
not a
saying.
sandwich. Anywho, fast forward. I believe the cast is going to lunch or not to lunch. Well, they were having lunch in their summer house. They're home. They're going to have lunch in the grass or whatever it's planned. But before we can get to the lunch, I guess the dog. I am so tired of Bria's dog. Okay,
Hmm.
I'm not even in the house, and I feel
Hmm.
like that dog stinks. I feel like no, like because some people don't be washing their dogs like that, and some people don't understand there are dental chews and treats that you can give your pets so that we don't have to smell. Because the dog, they could be in a room, their breath, they could be clean, all of them, and that room ain't got no ventilation. You come back in that room, it smells like dog breath. So and black people are funny with dogs. Like if we have one, it's because we've selected it that fur babies will works for us, or it was a gift 9 times out of 10. But I'm just like, okay, the dog. So the dog took a dump inside of the house. And I guess Silas and Jasmine were the ones to see it. So Silas proceeds. Silas, like the grown army adult specialist that he is, decides to go and talk to almost everyone in the house about the poop, but just left it there. He just left it there. And all the people in the house had looks on their face, like, especially Summer, like, all right.
That's what her name is. That big head ass girl. Okay, Summer.
I
Summer. I was like, I can't think of this girl's name because she's just there. It was like
cannot. I cannot.
she
No,
pissed
but
me off
she
too. Yeah.
she just looked done most of the episode. People kept coming to
Yeah.
her, talking to her about things that I could tell, the audience could tell that we just all knew to be stupid and small. So one of these things happened to be dog poop. She didn't really give them too much. So with not getting much from Summer and the other people in the house, Silas takes his milk deadhead ass upstairs. He decides to attempt to tell Preston, Mister, I've given nothing the entire season of the show. I have done nothing. I've just kind of been here and happened to be on camera. He went and talked to Preston about it. And finally, Preston gave us a moment, like something. Like, you know what I mean? He gave us something. And then two, somebody finally checked Silas, like in the moment that he needed to be checked. And that's the key. That's the key. I'm getting tired of that house meeting. And then someone goes down there, this bullshit solution comes to play. Like, no, tell people about themselves when it matters so that they know in the moment that what they've done is not okay. And
I
I
was just trying to
appreciate it. Preston for finally speaking up and saying something to him. Like, the poop is there. So you're running around doing all this complaining of how upset you are about it, but you left it there and you're an adult. Pick it up and then be like, I had to pick up your dog poop. I can't just leave shit around.
Or he could have just went upstairs and said, Bria, come get
He
your
walked
dog
past
shit.
her
Yeah, he
room.
walked past her room. So it was like, so you couldn't knock on the door and say, Bria, if you don't go get this dog shit from under this pool table. Because once Bria found out about it, she goes, oh my God, where is it? Like, oh my God, I am so sorry. So it was like, you couldn't have just told her, like, Silas, really? Like, it had to be all of that. So I did appreciate Preston in that moment, because it was like, that is ridiculous and really fucking stupid. So it was like, it just was like, I'm sorry, I don't like y'all. Those of y'all who are new watching this, I don't like this show. I don't like this cast because all of them are annoying. So Bravo and that call center knew what they was doing right when they casted the show. But I wasn't featuring Silas in this whole. I was so happy that Preston finally got up out that bed and that she put him in his place, because it was like, that was stupid for you to do. It was really so. All you had to do, because I wouldn't have picked up no dog shit. If it ain't my dog, I'm not picking up the shit. Bria, bring your ass down here. Come get this damn
But
shit
to
off
not
this
say
carpet.
anything, knock on the door, tell somebody I don't feel comfortable. Can you go ask her to do this? Like, my thing, and I always say this, and I actually had a friend who could not seem to understand that, like, you can complain, you can vent, yes, but also make sure that the same energy that you're putting into venting, that you're putting into finding a solution. Like, and the solution in this situation is to just knock on the door and tell her.
Yeah, do the solution and then complain afterwards. See, I probably wouldn't have been as upset with Silas if he knocked on Bria's door and said, Bria, go pick up that shit, and then complained about it. Like, look, we got to do something about this goddamn dog.
But
That's what you do.
He wants to make it seemed like he complained in a way trying to make Bria look bad.
No, he was looking for a moment on this damn show, and it's irritating because it was like, the fuck, why? Like, I don't understand why Silas continues to do this old fake ass damn schoolgirl giddy shit that he does. It is so annoying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I can agree. He's pretty much every episode he's arguing and complaining about things. He does that. And then he puts Jasmine in predicaments where she has to deal with it. Because what he does is he complains behind closed doors, and then he lets her take the heat, take all of that, and then doesn't. I'm sick of him. I don't want him to come back next season.
I don't want the show to come back.
Of Silas, while we're on the topic of him, there's a lot that just happened with him this episode. I'm actually think I'm gonna move on and come back to him,
because come back to him because
there's a lot, and I don't have the energy to get.
Because I feel like what you was about to bring up, I was going to go the fuck off. So yeah, let's save that energy for just now. Let me collect myself.
As for the dinner, we got some little scenes with Shanice discussing her ex once again and other stuff. It wasn't really necessary. We move on, and the men went to dinner. The group had separated. Everyone went and did their own thing. The ladies were with the ladies. The men were with the men. And God, we ended up coming right back to him. At this dinner, when the men are getting shots, a shot is purchased for the table by women. And of course, people are like, oh, now what's he going to do? He didn't want her accepting free drinks. Now he's got free drinks. And I think everyone might be taking reality TV too seriously, in my personal opinion, because what I got from that was this scene looks staged as hell. So you mean to tell me, literally the episode before, you guys edited to where there's issues and he's complaining, talking about how he doesn't like for his girl to be accepting drinks from other people and along with other various concerns. But then, oh, so convenient, the very next episode, now they go out to eat without the women. One of the few times we've seen this too, and women buy their whole table drinks. And they just made it this big deal. Like, I just felt like production kind of wanted that to happen, and it annoyed me. What were your thoughts?
There was a lot of things going through my mind watching this scene. Alex sitting at the corner of the table at the I was like, why are you there? You look awkward. Amir, why are you being a messy ass queen?
That's his job, James.
I'm
Amir's
so
been like
over
this
it.
since day one.
And Jason, stop explaining yourself to Silas.
Yeah,
He did it another time, and we'll get to that because I was really mad at Silas at that scene. But I want you to stop explaining to yourself because it seems like he was trying to catch you in some shit. And it was annoying because it was like,
saying
what are
nice
you
guys
hiding?
finish last.
Yeah, it was like, where the fuck
Uh,
is this coming from?
yeah,
I
it
was
was very, very like he called Kempire basically trying to defend himself. So we know that the cast of Summer House is watching. They are watching reviewers on YouTube.
absolutely,
They absolutely,
absolutely.
I don't know if they're watching us yet, but they are definitely watching YouTubers. They called in on their live show trying to defend themselves, but statements that nice guys finished last and this and that, shut the fuck up and put the cigarette out. You are the only person on this cast who's married. So aren't you the nice guy? Or you say you finished in last? Like, I don't think he even realized what he was trying to say. It
No,
seemed
no,
like
no. He realized what he said. That's exactly what he meant. See, you read the context. Nice guys finish last. That dude is an asshole. So absolutely, he was going to get somebody, and he just managed to find some old insecure ass little girl
mm,
and married her. Made sure that she still felt insecure enough to stay with his ass, and here they are now.
yeah, yeah.
So
I
that's
definitely
exactly what
agree.
is that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened. So no, 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 no. I'm not saying I don't disagree with his comment. No, he said exactly, and that's exactly what it is. Nice guys do finish last. Because when you got asshole perpetrating as dudes like Silas that get into this world, that's exactly what happens. They do exactly what he did, which is get some more insecure ass girl and did that shit. Like I'm sorry. That ain't even how I was gonna go off. I'm gonna go off on him again when you get to the part with him and Jason.
Yeah, there's so much. I'm like, we halfway through these notes, y'all. To anybody joining, I appreciate you for watching. I hope that you subscribe, not describe. What the hell? If you decide to describe, I do song reviews. We'll have one tomorrow. I review multiple shows. Tomorrow we'll be reviewing Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 11 and the first season on MTV. We have a lot that we're doing, but I appreciate you for watching. Moving it on along to the women before we get back to this episode's just a disaster. Back to the group, the women when they were on their own, I didn't have too much to say. They seemed to get drunk, chill, have a good time, but like we've explained, the women we know for a fact had pre-existing relationships, so that obviously shows when they got together, and they really did have a good time in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
prior
Yes,
to the men coming
absolutely.
along.
Jasmine looked like she wanted to split that dress in half
I'm
because
trying
it
to
was.
tell you.
I'm telling you, that's exactly what it looked like to me. And see, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think Silas knows this Jasmine. I really, and I said this episode one. He doesn't know this Jasmine. The
They're
Jasmine
a
that's with
pandemic
her
couple.
girls,
Mhm.
huh?
They're a
Yeah,
pandemic couple. There's a lot
yeah.
they
They
don't
don't.
know.
He doesn't know this person. And to me, it felt actually refreshing to see her having fun, jumping up on tables and screaming and shit. It actually was refreshing to see that. But it's so short lived. And when you think about who she really is, that she's been, showing us these last, 6 episodes, it's like, damn. Just in the moment where I want to like you, I'm reminded of the bullshit that you do. So I can't even like you.
Mm.
So yeah, I thought it was. They look like the men look like they were just having a dull, boring ass time, and the women look like they was having a ball.
The women, that's the thing I do enjoy about having girlfriends. Yeah, and the gays, because the last time I saw you in Arizona, I was drunker than I've been in years, honestly. But when you with your friends, married or not, and I've been with my dude for 14 years and married for 11 of them. And he not stopping me from having a good time. He know what's up. And guess what? When we go out together, you know what I'm saying? If we get trashed or effed up, then instead of dancing on the bar, you dance on him. So you have to be able to be the same person around your spouse that you are around your friends. And if not, there's definitely a disconnect in that relationship. That's just a personal opinion. I do root for Black love and hope they work it out. The last little note on that situation with the women and just the women in general that I have put to the side is I am tired of the friends saying that they missed the pre-married Jasmine. Everybody is making this marriage thing an issue. And it's like, if it's going to be so much to where every episode we have to hear of the pre-married Jasmine as if we're discussing a deceased member of our family, then you know what I'm saying? Then
It
stop
just
buying.
makes me wonder what she was like before Silas.
It was
That's all that is doing.
different because they keep talking about it.
Yeah, like what was she like then? Like, y'all got any video clips of her? Can we see? Maybe she was on the mechanical bull. She fell. I don't know. Like, I honestly do not know why they keep bringing this up, but it seems like they're perpetuating a whole narrative that Jasmine made the wrong decision because she's not who she used to be, and that's clear. But what we're saying is, y'all stop bringing it up as if she still is in that life. Like
I think it's important too to remember when you get married, like in your 30s, and when you're an established adult, figuring out like things you want, the things you want to do, all of that. Like, I feel like the age that she's at is also the age that many adults start to like calm down. I don't think she has, but I'm saying maybe there could be all types of things happening with everyone else's personality that are just being perceived in a way that doesn't make sense in their little friend group.
It could be. It could be. I agree with that to an extent, but at the same time, I really feel like they're trying to say there's a problem with her marriage without saying there's a problem with her marriage. I really feel like they're all saying the same thing, and they're just
Yeah.
prolonging this with this "I missed a single Jasmine" because married Jasmine seems like she's in trouble. That's what I'm getting out of it.
That's probably a piece of it too. I mean,
Yeah.
either way, it's nobody should have to change that much in a marriage. It should not be hard to balance your marriage between your friends because you don't change. Your status of availability has changed. Your last name may have changed, but you yourself, you don't change. Like, yeah, there are moments and times, like if people text me past a certain hour, with the exception of you and literally one other person, if you text me past 10 p.m., I won't respond, even if I see my phone right next to me, just because I'm married. That's what I spend time with my spouse, away from the phones and the all of that. So Jasmine and Silas, they just need to figure out their bond and their marriage. So we're gonna move on to probably the most interesting part of the episode to me, which was when the men came home to the women in the hot tub. And the first thing that happened before we could even get to the hot tub was this awkward scene with Silas and Summer, two S's. Please excuse my lisp. Silas and Summer were discussing something interesting because Silas came and asked Summer, "Were there any men around? Were there any men around?" Which was funny because they literally went to eat and then came home and got drunk and danced on each other. Didn't even leave the property for anything outside of food. So I'm like, yeah, you insecure player. You hella insecure.
It's
Because
not
that was
only
the
that he was
first.
insecure, it was like, and there's gonna be men everywhere unless they in the women's restroom.
And that was what Summer responded. And I thought Summer and Preston this episode were the MVPs because they were the two people who put that milk dud back in the box.
No,
And
I
at
felt
the time
like
it counted.
I feel like Preston did. I kind of felt like she went a roundabout way to go easy on his feelings, which I don't know why she did that shit.
But the way that she did it was still in a way that showed him, like, you see how you be.
Yeah, but no, it just
I
hers wasn't as pinpoint as I wanted it to be. I felt like she could have went in a little bit harder than that.
She could have, but at least she went in.
Yeah,
I was just appreciative, like in the moment, she did something. Nobody else has.
As I said, I'm not giving Summer too much. She was just there, and I'm not gonna give her all that.
She was there this episode. She was in almost every scene, but if you look at every scene, like I've been saying, the girl was. I don't think they should bring her back. She seems annoyed with the shenanigans, and for reality.
Why do you keep saying that? Bravo in this call center, because she keeps saying this, and we want to make sure we on one accord here. I am not agreeing to this show unless it's a completely different cast coming back. I don't want to see none of these people no more. And if I have to see somebody, I only want to see Jordan, Bria, Nick, and I want to say Shanice, but I feel like I'm gonna be like this with Shanice. The rest of the motherfuckers can go. I do not want to see none of them no more. I don't want to see Alex. I don't want to see Silas. I don't want to see Jasmine. I don't want to see Preston. I don't want to see who am I missing?
See what they
Summer. I don't want to see Summer either.
what they should have done, like we said in the beginning, the dynamic was off, but watching the season more and understanding Summer House a little more and the concept of the show, they should have just done what they did with Vanderpump Rules. Pick one of these shows, okay, and do a spin-off of people trying to intern for somebody on one of the bigger
Yeah,
shows
because
where they all, because then we would at least understand why they know each other. It's a bit like with Vanderpump Rules, they all met because they worked in Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants in and off camera. So when they put them on camera, they all have some type of relationship or knew of each other because we understood that it was due to work. This group, they're making it seem like personal or based on like college relationships, and
no,
that's
it
just
was
not enough.
basically one person intermingling all of the different friends that she has, and that's really ridiculous. Like I said, like I don't care if one or two people know each other, that's fine. But when it's just one person that knows the collective all house members, like no, and then you trying to push this old pencil head ass dude on this girl who obviously he's not in her caliber of income, and like it was just weird. Like I told Bravo in that call center, I said if you're gonna redo this show, do it the right way. Don't let them know each other. Like they can't know each other. Let them all come into the house and let them all be from different places. Let them be like from California, Seattle. Like let them be from Phoenix. Let them be from Detroit.
That's what
Like
they
put all
did
them.
with Vanderpump Rules, and that's why it
Yeah, let
worked.
them. Yeah,
They
let
had
them all be
that
from different
saved
places.
up
Stop. Yeah.
across the country because different people from different folks, different strokes. Good TV usually.
Yeah,
Usually,
absolutely. This is like,
uh, moving it along. We see Shanice while everyone's in the hot tub having fun. Bria's tapping the ass while her friends are twerking. I mean, they had a good time. I don't know what the occasion was, but everybody let loose. We see Shanice, which in earlier episodes, her first episode on the show, we got the titties. She freed the titties. So she's obviously a woman that's comfortable in her own skin and leans into her sexuality a lot. She's always speaking about when she gets some dick, when she has some, when she needs some, looking for some. So obviously sex is of importance to her, but not in a way that means she's like out here slutting and trying to take everybody's man.
mhm.
She's just sexually open, and that's okay. But she got drunk. She got drunk and decided to strip down to her birthday suit. And she got out of the hot tub. From what I saw, she was in the pool, in the hot tub. She took off the shirt first while sitting in the hot tub. She was next assignment. And then she got up, took off the rest, and proceeded to jump into the pool.
Mhm.
So after that happens, Bria runs away and goes inside, and she goes to Summer and is like, Shanika's butt ass naked in the hot tub with Simon. And Summer responds, oh, I'm not surprised. Just like, this is what she does. It seems like Shanice gets drunk and or when she's with a group of friends or on their summer
Mhm.
vacations, she exposes things. Fine. So Bria gets upset because Simon is there. She's in a relationship and she felt it was a thing. She tried to tell Jasmine. Jasmine wasn't too upset. As a married person, the married person was not upset. So, should tell Bria something. But apparently it was such an issue to have your closest friend in the house naked, she says, in the tub with Simon. So let me just get it all out and then we'll discuss it all as a whole because I'm not going through this section by section. I don't have the patience, friend, and I hope you forgive me for that.
Go ahead. I'm keeping up.
So Bria Bria then ends up, as we fast forward the scene or whatever, she ends up pulling Simon inside or whatever to address her dude for some reason. And she ends up going off on Simon, being upset, doesn't want him to come near her, all this other stuff. I just, the whole situation, there's just a lot that happened. Alex was trying to talk to Jordan, bringing up who she slept with and thinking she was off limits. I thought that was rude and poor taste, odd.
Oh,
But
you going there already?
oh yeah, I'm just skipping. I'll come back.
Oh, okay, okay. Make sure you pin that. I want you to come back to that.
No, that's in the note. I'm just going through everything important in my notes so
Okay,
that I can finish the note so that we
gotcha.
can
Go
have a
ahead.
free discussion because
I got
there's
you.
so much to happen. I can't.
Yes.
So then we have all these conversations. These people are now deciding they might want to deal with each other. There's just too much to happen. So I'm gonna just say, with all that I just said, please give your opinions. Free
Okay, let me
speech.
go because there's a situation that you did not mention that I want to make sure gets addressed. Was the situation with Silas and Jason carrying that table outside,
Yes.
and how Silas was being controlling and completely military. So we're gonna say that for the end.
Mhm.
Shanice, I surprisingly was not mad at her because she was drunk, and as long as she wasn't sitting on his lap, then I wouldn't have had a problem with it. Because especially if I was just naked with her too, just 20 minutes ago, I'm not finna get mad at her because she decided to stay naked and jump into the pool. As long as, and I would make sure, hey, keep your distance. Don't you
Here's the
don't.
thing. Bria liked to stretch the truth. She said, "Oh, she's naked with Simon in the hot tub," and it wasn't that. It was less than a second. She jumped in the pool, and then
Yeah, she wasn't naked in the hot tub. That's why I said I didn't have no problem. Even if she was naked in the hot, well, she was at one point naked in the hot
yes,
tub with him.
well, getting
But
naked, yeah.
I no, she was naked in the hot tub even after that scene. Like if you go back and watch it, no, she was still naked. She got back in the hot tub. She was still
Mhm.
naked.
Oh,
So,
hey.
because she had said, "Oh, I guess Bree is mad at me," and that's when she got up and put on her clothes and came inside. So I was like, and even then, I would not have tripped like that. I'd have been like, "Okay, just remember, keep your distance, and then don't you. If she wants to sit on your lap, you push your ass off out the way. That's how you do that."
That's the thing. My husband is like, I have friends. My husband's usually with me everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
He's been around my friends kicking it. I've had a friend that would just get naked, and she was weird. She had stayed with us at one time, and she didn't like to dry off with a towel or any of that. Had her own man, had her own situation. She just would be naked, and not just around me. A lot of people. I've had multiple friends that have just stripped down to their birthday suit or whatever in front of my spouse, either when we drunk at the beach or just when they be at my house drunk, like, oh, I need to wash or something. And it's not a big deal. What does he always say? I just make sure you know that this person's naked, or
Yeah,
I'm
that's what I
not
got to
gonna
do.
be around. What's he always say? I'm not gonna be around nobody naked who's not my wife without my wife's watching all of it. So
To
I
me,
mean,
Bria was
there was
given
all
that.
those people around.
Yeah, Bria was
Like,
given that. Like, I felt like there was more like underlined in that situation. And I know this is a stretch, but I'm sorry, that was the first thing that came to my mind. It's kind of like, the dark skin, light skin thing, and how it's more appealing to be more light skinned than it is dark skinned, and then all that kind of stuff. I feel like that's what was, huh?
colorism.
Yeah, colorism.
It
I felt like that's really what that shit was.
didn't make sense
Because
because
because you were
she's done
just
it
naked with
before.
you were just naked with her
Mhm.
before the being got there, and now all of a sudden because she chose to get naked again, you're not mad at that. Come on, no.
I
I
think
feel like
that Bria was drunk and doing the
insecure,
most.
insecure.
Drunk, insecure, being a Gemini, as some said.
Yeah,
Because it seems like she does this a lot because they showed her complaining to everybody,
yeah, which
and
was stupid. She
nobody
was doing the
cared.
same thing with Silas was doing. Them two, one and the
They
same.
are the
Hell,
same. They
they
are
should be
the
hell. They
same.
should be together. Shit, they do the same shit.
They are the exact same. So I just felt like
So
as a married person, I wouldn't have been bothered with it. You could tell it's context. You can tell the difference between somebody getting naked, like, come on, leave her,
yeah,
or someone drunk just wanting to be
free. Yeah,
free. I
exactly. Yeah.
mean, leave her the hell alone. So go ahead.
Next was Alex and Jordan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alex, let me explain something to you because I didn't like that shit. And see, you were hating on this dude from the jump. And I
Mhm.
saw that, but I didn't want to play into that because I don't like pitting black men against each other. I don't like doing that. You chose this moment to out this man, and then you lied on top of that Because that man did not say, I have dibs on Jordan. He said, I have my eye on Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
And all of y'all took it upon yourselves to say, oh, okay, well, I guess if you want her, you got her.
He took it to the place of assuming that dibs mean I'm gonna fuck her.
Yes. And that's what I hated, because not only did you make this man look bad, you then look like a punk yourself for even telling her that and telling it in the worst possible way. Now, granted, it could have been edited out. We don't know, but they didn't show it to us like that. So we have to assume that how he said it is how we didn't see it. So unfortunately, I didn't see Amir say, I got dibs on her and I'm going to make sure I sleep with her first. I didn't hear Amir say that. I just heard him say, I got my eye on her. See, the problem with Alex, and I said this, and I'm going to keep saying allegedly until he comes out. Alex is running from homosexuality. And I'm going to keep saying this until I'm blue in the face. I know what I'm looking at.
I've seen a lot of people online say that, and then the other half of people I'm seeing online are like, well, his fraternity is known for a bunch of like nasty hoe dudes who just like
he don't even give that. That's the thing. see, he doesn't even give that kind of energy. He gives, I'm insecure about myself. I was probably brought up with an old homophobic ass family, and I can't be who I am. So I'm going to make women who see me clearly, because I think Shanice saw some shit and she didn't want to admit to it right then and there because she on camera. I'm going to bring up some shit to make her insecure, so that way she doesn't see me who I really am. Because I feel like if one of the women actually got naked and alone with him, he won't rise to the occasion.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. That's why he ain't did shit.
All I could say about Alex, because I don't know him, is he's very awkward around women. Like his game, his swag, like
he ain't got none
with all of them, from the kiss with Summer to,
if you
I'm just kind of like, either shit or get off the pot with these females. Otherwise,
no, either shit or come out. That's what I'm gonna say to Alex. Shit or come out.
Yeah,
because I'm sorry, I could see it, and it's okay. Like it's okay.
Was there anything else within the show that you felt was necessary to bring up?
Yeah, the Silas and Jason thing, real quick.
Yeah, I kind of touched on that at the beginning.
You didn't touch on that part.
Not that specifically. I felt like that scene, it annoyed me, if I'm being entirely honest, because I was like, I'm tired of Jason kind of this. He has this attitude of, I'm right. I've gone through this. I'm wiser. And then Silas also has the same attitude, but in a more like offensive and aggressive way. I didn't like the bringing up the army. Like, I get it. People in the army are a certain way. You're very strict, but if you couldn't let go of your tactical ways or whatever the hell it's called to be on TV, like, go back to the army then. I don't even understand why they have someone in the army on TV.
No, like, here's my thing about this is my situation with it, because it felt like, see, and this is what I'm saying, either it was assumed that him and Jason and Jasmine have slept together, or he feels that they did and he is intimidated by this man. Because from the moment Jason got into that house, he was already had a guard up towards him. Because mind you, Jason was the roommate to Jasmine. So a lot of men, especially our color men, y'all assume the worst about women all the fucking time, which is stupid. So you already had this guard up. So you either think he slept with your woman, or you have a feeling that he's trying to get with her. Because you don't understand the close dynamic. And see, because before I even came out, I had you, and I have another best friend who is a girl. Me and the men have never had any sexual contact, not once. Me and my friend Chelsea have never had any sexual contact, not once. I have boundaries, and I respect their boundaries. I would never manipulate and cross the lines. And I feel like Jason is the same way. I feel like Jason understands a friend is a friend, regardless of her being a woman.
Yeah, he doesn't give me the type of guy that seems like he would disrespect the marriage. He also doesn't give me the type of guy who seems like he would lie and be around
Exactly.
Silas.
And that's why I don't understand why Silas has this old pent up aggression towards him, because it was like you didn't need to yell at him and instruct him in that way
I
until
think
he
that
actually fucked
their
up.
I think that it's their pandemic relationship. I
Mhm.
also, and Silas spoke about this when he's called into other YouTubers. If you're not African, if you don't have African family members, I don't care if you got friends or think you close to them, you're not going to get it. A lot of his behavior comes from that culture, especially in Liberian culture, where there's still, it's not just, you have the old style, old traditional ways and the males, leading and all of that. And then you go to Africa and it gets taken like even a step further. So I think that's a piece of it. But the way that Silas talks to everybody in the house, to me, in my
Okay.
opinion, just the way he moves, he does shit and then he likes to disappear and not deal with it. And when he's forced to deal with it, he blames it on the army. And personally, I am tired of it. My grandfather served in multiple wars. I got family who's serving. I have a best friend who's in the Marines. My husband's childhood best friend was in the Navy. Like, we know people in the army, and it does change them and make them a certain
Absolutely
way.
it does.
However, the ways and the situations that he's leaning on the military and his training, as for why his behavior is a certain way, I call bullshit. You are in the Army Reserve, sir. You act like you done been out here leading people through other countries and stuff. Like,
So
you're
yeah.
Army reserved. Like, they don't call you first if something go down. That's how you're able to do this show, because the Army Reserve's requirements are like they only have to show up a couple times a year. Like, they do their PT, they go home. Like, it's ridiculous, Silas. So that's my opinion with that.
So let me kind of touch on what you said, because I understand what you're saying about culture and him being Liberian. I get all of that. My whole thing is this: you didn't marry a Liberian woman, so all that shit goes out the fucking window at the
They
end of the
still
day.
have, though, in that
It
culture, the
don't matter. It don't
expectation.
matter.
It
You need to go
doesn't
to this.
matter to
You need to
us,
go. You need to go. No, he needs to go. No, it doesn't matter. No,
to
it does.
him.
No, it doesn't matter, because if you did not marry that, you can't put that projection onto who you did marry.
But
Because
at
she
the
didn't.
same time, she knew she was marrying him. She knew he was African. She
I
understood the culture and she still chose to do it. They're very clear
No,
on
I
that
blame
they're
her
both
for
at fault.
agreeing to that shit. No, I do. I blame her for agreeing to it. But let me explain something. I can only talk about me. If I get with somebody that is Liberian or other African cultures and they tell me the bullshit about the African culture, my response to you now is that shit does not no longer fucking matter if you want to be married to me. That shit is going out the window. Leave it with your mama. Don't bring that shit to me. That's what I
Yeah,
am saying.
I
I am
think
saying, yeah, like, because that's how we get backed up in time. That's the exact reason. And then see what you just said. That is how Black people stay behind when we think of these ideals and principles that we have to bring into our relationships from our childhood or from how we were brought up. No, we do not need to do that, especially if we're far from our tree. He's far from his tree.
it's still, but generations, like even with how I do things within my marriage and stuff, generations of certain stuff, regardless on your culture, like American culture, a woman is more likely to cut the hell away from, at least a woman from California is more likely to get the hell away or out of a situation
Yeah,
that Jasmine and
absolutely.
Silas have. However, a woman in the South may stay because this person's paying the bills, ain't cheating. So even though that's what we want, I think it's important to acknowledge that those things are easier said than done. These things are ingrained in people sometimes from the moment that they
It's
are
and this is why.
infants. So it's nothing we can do,
No,
but
there's stuff we can do. There's therapy, people. Let's not do that. There's therapy. There are trainings. There are tools out there, and some of your jobs that y'all work 9 to 5 cover these things. I don't
Mm.
want to hear that, because we need to stop making excuses. That we will never progress as people until we start looking at our childhood traumas, and
This is true.
that includes religion. That
Mhm.
includes
Culture.
um, Mama's Guilt. Mama's Guilt, that includes that as well. That, yeah, what you just said. That includes all of that.
Mhm.
Until we correct that, because I don't live the life I was raised in. I don't. The life I was raised to live, I don't live that life. So, and as I said on my channel, if you guys actually go back and watch Bill Collecting Real Housewives of Atlanta. I've been in therapy for 17 years. I am 33. Y'all do the math. I have been in therapy on October 19th. It will be 18 years that I have been in therapy. And I'm gonna tell you like this: it might seem like a long time to be in therapy, but the more you do it, the more you want to continue, because the more you actually realize. I've been an adult. I've been a kid from 0 to 18. That's 18 years of shit I have to undo. Not to mention every month of shit that you probably have been taught to do that you have to undo. So no, it can be done. I still got a long way to go.
I think that they just need to. I still think his culture impacts him and stuff, and Jasmine's aware, but at the same time, it doesn't excuse. He didn't even excuse his own behavior when he called into the Empire. He admitted himself, the way I talked to my wife, the way I handled things, the things I expected of her, I was wilding. Those were his exact words when he called into the Empire. Shout out to the Empire. But hearing so, to those who are unsure, we're discussing Summer House, Martha's Vineyard. It's a Bravo TV show. The cast, this is an all new cast, so we've never heard of these people. We don't know what they did before. One of the cast members, Silas Ellis Cooper or something, I can't remember their last name, but he saw the Kempire, who's another YouTuber who discusses and recaps these Summer House episodes, and he decided to call in because he has been getting a lot of, let's just call a spade a spade, he's been getting a lot of negative words from the audience of the viewers watching this show. So the cast, Bria and Silas, so far have been calling different YouTubers and things, trying to give their opinion, which to me is kind of it's good
It's a
and
cop
bad.
out. It's
It's
a cop out.
yeah, it's good and bad. Most people sit the season through, take the heat from online, or they're if responding online in the comments like whatever, go to hell, blocking people, but we want a reunion and they're already giving their points of view. He done told Empire him and Jasmine were in counseling. They're back in counseling. Things are better. He was talking to her wrong. He wishes he would have changed that, explaining what was going on behind the scenes. And my thing is like, you're breaking the fourth wall with your mouth. And then you're also looking a little like, okay, is Jasmine coaching you through this? Like,
I don't
why?
even get that. I think he's trying to get ahead of something.
He
We got
has to be, because I found
we
that
we got 2 episodes left, so
he
you
and
can
Bria are the only two who have been
y'all are trying to
calling
get
people.
ahead of something, and I can't
Yes,
wait to see what it is.
yes.
So yeah, was that it, or did I miss
That's
anything?
pretty much it.
Okay.
Nothing else really happened in this episode. It did end with Shanice coming back outside the night after Bria flipped out and called everybody, including her mama, about the about Shanice getting naked. She came right back outside with her titties again and a bottle of rosé. So I guess whatever happens with that will be big enough that they felt it needed to be put into episode 7. So we will be back here to those watching next Tuesday. I'm not sure the time, but more than likely it will be the same time to recap season 1, episode 7 of Summer House. We're only 2 episodes away from the finale. Be sure, if you're watching this after we have ended the live, to like the video, comment your opinions. I do respond. You can find James's channel with links that you can click that'll take you right to the channel. Go ahead and click it, subscribe to his channel if you want to watch videos on his channel that I've been featured on, which we do our recaps together. I have those in playlists, so click those. It gives him a view. Tomorrow, we'll be recapping a new show on a new day. Wednesday, we will be recapping Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which will be on MTV, I believe at 2 p.m. tomorrow. So that should be a quick, fun recap because you can't go too deep with Love and Hip Hop. But that is all I have to say on Summer House. If you feel I missed anything, again, comment, like, subscribe. Do you have anything to say? Parting words?
Nope. And also make sure you come to my channel to watch the couples therapy because we will also be recapping that tomorrow as
Oh,
well.
couples retreat.
Or couples retreat. Sorry,
We
couples retreat.
forgot.
No, I didn't forget. No, we're caught up. I just ain't for.
I
We're gonna
forgot
probably.
about it.
I feel like we're gonna do that one first, and then lead into Love and Hip Hop
Mhm.
because two cast members from that show are on couples retreat. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, they are.
So
Lord help us.
yeah, because I can only imagine what this is gonna be.
Anywho's, other than that, I appreciate everybody for watching. I hope you have a good day, James, and thank you for being here
Thank
again.
you for having me. Bye.
Adios, thugs.